Wait, you gotta get Caramello's face.
Oh, there's a caramel this time. Cheers.
I'm good stuff.
You got something very special in the mail. Dia, what did you get?
Got my certificate.
Graduate certificate
Yay.
in critical care nursing.
Woohoo.
Yes! Good job, Dee.
Got my academic.
Like I was slapping you. High five! That's awesome!
Got my transcript.
Oh, I won't show anybody that one. So the last few days have been pretty busy. I took my auntie, my sister and my wife to that place that had those amazing, crazy, ridiculous drinks, milkshakes. And we went to this amazing lookout in Blue Mountains, which was absolutely stunning. And after night shift, I took Neil home and saw his amazing collection of Transformers. Okay, so my workmate Neil is this guy I work with at my hospital, and he is famed to have the greatest collection of Transformers and other toys of anyone. So I am here at his house. He's let me into his humble house after night shift, and we're going to see if they're all full of crap. What is all this?
It's all Transformers. That's an RX.
Okay.
Mazda RX.
Oh yeah.
The Generation 2.
Okay.
And then you've got the Masterpiece series, which is more articulated and realistic looking car versions of the Generation 1.
Yep.
And then these are the ongoing ones, the Generations.
Right.
Classics and all that.
Hot Wheels! Why Hot Wheels?
I don't know. I just fell into it.
Okay. Good job.
2 hours later.
So I'm going to go see Suicide Squad tonight, which I'm very excited about. Because apparently on its opening weekend, even though the reviews prior to its release to the general public came out as incredibly negative, apparently less than 30% of the critics actually enjoyed the film, and most of them hated the film, and even the audience rating, the cinema score I think was a B-, which is generally not the best, and on Rotten Tomatoes I think it was like maybe 70% enjoyed it, which is fairly low from an audience point of view on Rotten Tomatoes. But despite all of that, it made just over $135 million domestically in the US on its opening weekend, which is the biggest box office opening for an August opening in history. The previous record was set by Guardians of the Galaxy, which did like I think 96 or 97 million on a similar weekend back 2 years ago. The success of a movie is not just its opening weekend, but also its staying power, its ability to stay at the #1 of the box office and to get people to come back and watch it again, or have audiences visit it even though it's been out for a week or two. That's what gives it its money. Every successful movie, the most successful in the world is Avatar, followed by Titanic, followed by The Avengers. All these movies had people coming back again and again and again to watch this film and enjoy it. And that's where it's going to be interesting to see if this second DC movie, if this second Warner Brothers attempt to show the DC characters on the silver screen is going to be successful or not, because the first movie that came out, which is Batman vs Superman, was incredibly controversial. Huge opening weekend obviously, because you got the two biggest superheroes in history fighting on screen, but then in terms of staying power it completely dropped off. There was over 60% drop off on its second weekend, and if it wasn't for the international market it would have been a huge loss. In the end it made about $950 million altogether, including the international box office, but apparently they spent almost $1 billion to make the film, market the film, distribute the film. So it was almost a loss, which is crazy. So for Suicide Squad to be considered a success this weekend, the second weekend that it's out, is going to have to make at least sort of $80 to $90 million to keep that run going. And it's going to have to make at least $200 to $300 million overseas in its total release schedule to be considered a success. Apparently Suicide Squad has spent over $800 million in terms of marketing, distribution, also making the film and recutting and re-editing the film. Apparently a trailer house company was asked to come in and re-edit the film after David Ayer's original cut, because after the fallout from Batman vs Superman they wanted the movie to have a more fun tone. And that's one of the reasons apparently why it's got so many plot problems now, is that they sacrificed the plot and the character motivations and the flow of the story in order to make it a more like fun and jumpy film. So I can't wait to see it. I'm keeping my expectations very low, and I'll be releasing my review soon.